something as simple as nandun ka sa Cubao at gustong kumain ng Italian food, tatanong mo sa crowd, saan ba ang pinaka-masarap na at pinaka-mura na Italian restaurant dito sa Cubao? Bilinis yun, bilinis. Okay. Yun po ang crowdsourcing. Walang iba yung crowdsourcing sa practices noon. Ginagawa na natin noon, buong mundo, maski na wala pang kuryente, hindi pa na-discover ang kuryente, ginagawa na yung crowdsourcing. Yun ang tinatawag na town hall meeting. Sa Tagalog, pulong-pulong. Ito yung idea ko, anong tingin nyo? Ganun lang kasimple. Ngayon lang, today is a momentous event because today we are using technology. We are using technology to break the barriers of time, space, and expense. Isipin nyo, kung merong bill ang isang senador, for example, let's say the SK Reform Bill of Senator Bam Aquino, gusto mong magbigay ng opinion, you're limited by time. You have to be there for now. Like for example, 10 o'clock in the morning, you're here. If you were there at 1 o'clock, wala na. You're limited by space. You have to be here in the Senate Hall in Pasay City. So if you're in Cebu, wala na. And expense, because if you're from Cebu, you have to purchase a plane ticket, you have to go to the hotel, and come here by taxi, presumably, to the Senate. So time, space, and expense. With the internet, burado lahat yan. Anytime, anywhere. From Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte to Pulomolok, South Cotabato, wherever you may be, you can participate. You can give your ideas. You can give your suggestions. You can criticize the bills of the senators and congressmen. You can be in your shorts at 4 o'clock in the morning, drinking Coca-Cola, as some people do, and still participate in the law-making process. So, this is a process that is an old process called, anong tingin nyo? Ito idea ko. Magpulong-pulong nga tayo, pero nung araw kailangan may oras, may space, at may pera ka para pumunta. Dahil dito, lahat ng tao pwedeng makilahok sa paggawa ng batas. And we are doing this because I believe that laws are made for people, and that the more that people can participate in the lawmaking process, the more responsive the laws will be to society. Pero mo, ang ganda sana, merong isang batas na lumabas, at yung tao sa kalye magsasabi, uy, pare, alam nyo, yung batas na yan, akin yan. Ako na-suggest gawin Section 16. Akin yan, pare, oh. Na-adapt nila. Laws are for people. And the moment we give people more access to laws, then they will be more responsive to society's needs and aspirations. Secondly, this will give access. Like I said, wala ng time, space, and expense. Access, para madaling makilahok. And thirdly, this is a step towards direct democracy. That people should participate in the lawmaking process, in the policy-making process directly. Noong araw, up to now, because of the limitations, we have representatives. That's why we call them the House of Representatives. That's why we call them senators. We represent you to make the laws. But because of technology, one day, this is the first step, this momentous day. One day, my dream is that we will have a direct democracy. My dream is to have a democracy not just the democracy, but the democracy 2.0. Can you imagine if somebody can put up a bill on the internet and people can debate via crowdsourcing, then people can decide by voting. Pero imagine this, itong Samsung, sa likod nito, merong camera sa likod. Right now, it's just a camera. But technology can make it, one day, an optical reader. So you can put it to your eye and register your what do you call that, the iris? And register. Once you've registered, then you text in your vote. Tapos na. People vote the yes or no to adopt a law. Direct democracy, hindi na kailangan ng representatives. Totoong governance by the people and of the people. So yun po, this is a journey. I don't have any illusions. There are so many details that have to be ironed out. As they say, the devil is in the details. But I believe that ideas should come from the people. And that's why today we are crowdsourcing the crowdsourcing bill. We have an excellent suggestion. A few weeks ago, we had a sit-down with some bloggers, a meeting, brainstorming. Sabi nila, alam mo, I'd like to acknowledge my colleague, Senator Bam Aquino, who is here, and a staunch supporter of crowdsourcing.
Hello, Mom Blogger.
A staunch supporter of crowdsourcing. Good morning, Bam. And by the way, he has some ideas on SK reform. He's now crafting a bill on reforming the SK. And he told me last night, I will crowdsource the SK reform bill that he has. O, di ba? Ang ganda! Ang ganda mga ideas na pwedeng mangyari. And so, my friends, join me. There's so many new ideas. For example, one criticism nga, sinasabi ko sa vloggers, sinabi nila sa akin, paano yung mga walang internet? Paano yung mga walang kuryente? Totoo nga. Ako, tiga Mindanao ako. Marami pang lugar na walang internet, walang roads. Iba pa, walang tubig. Ganun talaga. Paano yan? We left out a major chunk of the society. Sabi ko nga, oo nga, no? So, when we make our hearings, one of the amendments we'll make to the bill is to add a provision for ordinary mail, or popularly known as snail mail, so that those who are not wired in the internet can also have access, can also participate in the process of crowdsourcing. I'd like to acknowledge also our graphic designers who've helped me in the website, in the graphics. There is John Tan, Rachel Nopum, please stand up, Josh Soriano, our graphic artist. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And now let's call on the head of my legislative group, Attorney Golda Benjamin, who will give some details of the crowdsourcing. Golda?
Thank you, SNPG. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to give you something like a peek into the life of a legislative staff and why this project is also very personal to us. And it's like our baby, and we're so nervous if it will grow up to be a good child. A typical legislative staff in our office, there are only 4 lawyers monitoring 2,000 bills as of today, or plus. We have to take care of our own bills, monitor bills, and of course we also have to work on durable matters. So imagine, 4 brains, so much work, very limited ideas. And that's why we're excited about this project, because imagine if you guys, for example, there's a technology bill being debated in the Senate, and you guys know about technology, and you can point out to us, hey, that provision won't work. Otherwise, if our four brains are not familiar with the topic, then maybe we could not have known that the provision won't work. Or, for example, we don't even realize that a bill is filed and it's constitutionally problematic, and then somebody says, hey, Senator Guingona or Senator Guingona, there's a problem with Section 2 of this bill. Take a look at it. So it's really, really very important. It's really very important to our work as well, because more brains equals more ideas. So let us look at the website. It's actually just very, very simple. We have a video because Senator TJ is always saying the Filipinos are very visual people. We'd rather look at drawings, simplified things, and so that we can understand the laws. And as some of us know, lawyers tend to talk in very complicated words that the other people don't understand, right? So we try to have a graphical representation of what crowdsourcing is all about, thanks to the guys to my right. And if you scroll down, on your left side, it's just a vision of the bill. And then we would have the infographic of Senate Bill 73, which actually is a drawing of the entire legislative process, which is really also very helpful, because even for people like us who went to law school, when we came to the Senate, we actually didn't know so many of the parts of the legislative process. We were also as lost as the normal person on the street. So maybe a drawing can also help people. There's also a part on a summary of the Crowdsourcing Act. In the legislative group of Senator TG's office, we write bills and we let the younger ones and the non-lawyers read and comment on our bills. And usually what we get is, Attorney Gold's nosebleed, hindi ko naintindihan. And I think that's a failure also on the part of the lawmaking process if the people who are most affected by the laws do not understand the laws. So we are trying our best to have a summary, a simplified version of the bill. And of course, for some of you who like to read the full text of the bill or the actual filed copy, it's also on the website. Now, can we go back to the website? And if you scroll down, this part is my favorite part of the website, the add your comment part. This is where we really need your help and we really need all your support so that you can give us what you think of our bills. And so if you click on add your comment, the right message window will come down and you can simply write your name. If you don't want to write your name, then you don't have to. Write your email, it will not be published, and write your comments. Now if you scroll down, as of today, we just launched the bill, and imagine, we already have comments from Albay, from Bohol, from Laguna, from Taguig, from Quezon City. These people we otherwise could not have heard if we just had simple meetings like the meetings we usually have. So it's really inspiring. I was already looking at the site and there's even somebody who says, maybe you can use this software to improve commenting. And I was like, I haven't even heard of that software. Isn't that amazing? You bring new ideas to an institution that is often looked at as very, very conservative. So that's the website. And we even provided some laptop terminals for all of you who don't want to comment in your tiny devices. And we really hope to see you on the GuingonaProject.com. Help the country, help us. And personally, I really believe that we're not as helpless as a lot of people project Filipinos to be. We really just need more venues to participate in government. And if we can, then we can start little revolutions wherever we are. Thank you.
I'd like to invite my colleague, Senator Bam. Would you like to say something?
Magandang umaga po. I'll be very quick, no? I'd just like to, of course, throw our support kay Senator TG with this project. Sa totoo lang, it's one of those projects that I wish I would have filed though, but since Senator TG filed it already, we're just throwing our full support behind this whole project. So we hope that this will help our legislative process. I'm sure it will enrich the discussions. Alam ko po, marami pang mga detalye kailangan i-figure out, no? But I trust that during the committee hearings, these details can be figure it out. The PWGs can figure out all of the nuances that we will need to do so that we can make this effective and very efficient. No? But the spirit of this bill is right alongside our push for greater democracy and greater participation of our people. So kami po sa Team BAM's office are fully supportive of this project, and if there's any way we can push for this, we will of course push for it, hopefully by joining the committee hearings and even when it gets to the plenary. On our end, even though our website is still under work, alam niyo naman po, we started lang this July, we intend to put all of the bills that we have filed on the site so that people can really comment and give suggestions. No? At least in our own little way, while this is in process, we can also get the comments and get the suggestions from our people. So yun lang po. Again, congrats to Senator TG and his team. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Senator Bam. I'd also like to thank, first of all, our site designer and development, Marco Seguera. Of course, the videos and on-site posters, John Tan, Rachel Nocum, and our video, voice talent in the video, Jose Sebastian Soriano. The following organizations that have been so helpful: Blogwatch, Philippine Model Congress, IMAP, Democracy.net, Cyberbullying.ph, 8list.ph, The Philippine Beat, WSPH, Kaya Natin, the committee secretaries of the Senate. If this becomes a bill, then the committee secretaries have to undergo a training process so that we can update our internet capabilities. Of course, the schools, UP Diliman, UP Manila, UP Los Baños, San Sebastian, PLM, UST, FEU, De La Salle University, Ateneo Law School, De La Salle School of Law, and the PLM Graduate School of Law. We'd also like to thank so much SMART for the very fast and efficient internet signal that you're experiencing now. So thank you again, SMART. And thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Let's participate in democracy. After all, democracy is the rule by the people. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Do you have any questions regarding this project? Or from the media, from the netizen? Sir, ito lang akong question. In every comment ba that you're going to receive, magkakaroon kayo ng reply whether it will be considered or not?
Si Attorney Golda will be the administrator of the website.
So if you notice, when you write a comment or add a comment, it has a very simple message. For as long as your comment is not libelous, off-topic, or in violation of law, we will immediately publish it. So that's why the site has been up for maybe a few hours only, and we've already approved actually all the comments. And it's actually also it's an eye-opening experience for us, because we were so afraid that people would just write senseless comments, but we've received 0 senseless comments and no libelous comments so far. So yes, and we're going to try our best to actually publish within 12 hours or shorter, as we've experienced today. So we're very excited.
Okay, any other questions? Attorney, may security feature ba ito para hindi makapasok yung mga libelous comments?
There's a manual moderation. We actually check the comments before it's published. So that's the security feature.
Okay, ma'am.
Who will decide which comments to include, to actually include in the bill or not?
Well, the moderator, but actually yun ang rules eh. May rules yun. As long as it's not libelous, off-topic, or in violation of laws. Simple lang yung rules. libelous, off topic, or in violation of laws. Yes.
There's a, on Twitter, there's a question.
Senator, this is a very hypothetical question that just hit me a while ago. Assuming that this does become law, this means that we will allot time for comments to be generated and for them to be evaluated, right? Does this mean that certain unscrupulous elements could use that to delay a law by deliberately sabotaging the site or making it down so that the comment process could be delayed as well?
Yes, that's a very valid comment, and we will have to ask the techies as to how to put up what they call firewalls or whatever security feature so that that situation can be avoided. Thank you for that. That's a valid observation. Yes?
Is there any implementing agency, or is every lawmaker required to create their own website? Or do you have a single implementing agency to administer the comment process?
Offhand, it would be the Secretariat of each House, the Senate and Congress. But we're still open. It's still in the works. Pero offhand, yung Secretariat ng Congress at saka Senate.
How do you establish identities for every users? For example, name, address, or profession, and then how will you use it for further analytics? No? For example, surveys and interpreting the data.
Yes, that's an ongoing debate, no? Do we accept only people with valid IDs, that they identify themselves? Then the second question is how do you validate the names and the addresses, no? In Finland, they have a crowdsourcing law, and if I think 1% or 2% of the population agrees with the idea, then it's automatically filed in their parliament, and parliament has to consider it and vote on it. In Iceland, they have crowdsourced the constitution and changed their constitution with the aid of crowdsourcing. But in those two countries, they have a national ID system. We don't. So those are the issues that we're grappling with, no? Especially if it's not just a comment that's submitted. What if you submit a paper? A paper. So we have to read the paper and get back to you with questions. So you really have to put in your name and how we can get back to you. So those are the issues that are ongoing that we have to address. Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Yes, direct democracy na. That's the dream, huh? That's the dream. This is step one. The journey of 1,000 miles. This is step one. That's the dream. That one day, people can directly vote already without passing through their representatives. Direct democracy na talaga. It can be seen. It's tangible already. So remember, no? This thing will not happen overnight. As I keep saying, the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Law. The law on the disasters, di ba? No-brainer. Dapat yon pinasa kaagad. Do you know that it took 9 years to pass? 9 years and 1 ondoy. And I was in Congress then. Because of ondoy, napasa namin last minute. 9 years and 1 ondoy. So, really, lawmaking is a process, and lawmaking requires patience. especially this, na maraming mga valid na tanong, maraming tang detalye na kailangan i-iron out. But again, like I said, everything starts with the first step, and today is the first step.
Okay? No more? Okay, sir.
Hi, sir. Good morning. As I was listening to you're going to use naming also for the offline component of this. Maybe this is more of a comment than a suggestion. If once we're crowdsourcing, we might also have an offline component for disseminating information about the laws, from probably radio or even post bills at the barangay level, perhaps. Because one essence of going offline in other projects is that they used the most basic. Basically, they posted the information offline or gave it to the radio stations or even newspapers so that people can see, and from there they could comment. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you. We will certainly take that into consideration. Thank you for that.
Okay? Okay.
Good morning, sir. The Philippines is a larger country compared to Iceland and Finland. How can you handle those
Yes, that's another comment that's valid, and we have to figure out how we can handle that, because the volume can get out of hand, no? Relative to the size of the staff. One idea that was already brought up in a series of discussion groups. One idea is to outsource the analysis, summary of all the comments, because maraming comments yan magkapareho or similar, so you just group them together and synthesize it, and then let that outsource group synthesize it and reduce it in 2 or 3 pages so that the lawmaker can easily read it. Siyempre, totoo yun. Pagka ganun kakapal yung babasahin ng lawmaker, if let's put it in hard copy, chances are hindi talaga babasahin yun, ano? Pero kung if you reduce it to 2 or 3 pages, mababasa yan. So, the idea was, para hindi naman kawawa yung staff, i-outsource na lang yan, and let that group do the analysis, synthesis, and then get back to you in a condensed form already. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
The lady in black.
Put a task bar wherein you put with the staff whatever subject they have so that they are organized according to what topic it is. So it's easier for you to process.
Yes, tag bar daw. So that it's organized according to topic, ma'am? To topic, no? So that commenting would be easier, it's more structured. Thank you. Excellent, excellent.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, the lady in yellow.
Sorry, I have a question. You mentioned earlier that what you're looking for is a certain percentage of the population. So it means there's no prescriptive period unless we're able to gather that certain percentage representative of a good number of population, regardless if it takes 1 week or 1 year.
Hindi. Well, yung percentage na sinabi ko, I was just citing Finland. Kasi Finland, yun ang nangyari, yung sa kanila. I think certain percentage, pag bumoto, kailangan pumunta sa Kongreso. Dito, what we will do is just from this date to this date, everybody can comment.
Sir, is this also step 1 towards the FOI?
Step 1, even before this, almost all senators filed an FOI bill. I refiled my FOI bill. The problem with the FOI is not in the Senate. Yeah. That's for sure. Yes.
Sir, one more question. This is, I think, open to the public. So how can we prevent foreigners from actually commenting and taking part in this supposedly Philippine democratic process? Because I'm sure, like, we have problems from China who would just like make us do something broadly
That's about it. How do you prevent foreigners from commenting? Some say we should block them because they're not Filipinos. The other said, hey, aren't we open? What's the use of blocking them if ang ganda naman ng suggestion, it really makes sense? Does it really matter who it comes from? Whether a Filipino or non-Filipino? If it's helpful for the country? So those are the, those are the issues that come up, and those are the issues that we will really have to thresh out. Yes, thank you. Naimi?
There's a question coming online. How would you rather it be called, the Guingona project or the crowdsourcing bill?
Well, crowdsourcing bill, but I believe in accountability, and this is my baby. This came about kasi nung you remember nung cybercrime? Inopost natin yung cybercrime law, and meron forum. At dun sa forum, ang dami nagsasabi, syempre with emotions and full emotions, hindi namin alam yan. Hindi kami binigyan ng pagkakataon na makilaho. We didn't know about it. Sabi ko, oo nga, chinek ko naman, may hearings naman talaga. Pero sabi ko, paano kaya to? Then that's how it came about. Oo nga pala, crowdsource na lang natin mga batas natin. So, I'd like to be accountable for this. That's why I put my name in there. The Guingona project. But the name of the law is Crowdsourcing Act of the Philippines. It's not the Guingona law.
Yeah.
Okay, no more questions? With that? Okay, with that, thank you very much for coming in behalf of Senator Teofisto Guingona III, the author of the Crowdsourcing Bill. Okay, picture taking now with your devices.